Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing The End by Angelo Carbone. And in addition to reviewing The End, by the way, this in my opinion is one of the greatest book tests, if not the greatest book test of all time. But in addition to the review, we're also doing a magic giveaway, which you can enter for free. We'll get into the details about that in a little bit. And stick around for more information on this product, as well as how to enter the giveaway. And I try to do magic giveaways every month, so please subscribe. First off, I wanted to thank you all for watching, and I wanted to let any magic creators or distributors know if you want me to review your product, contact me at bfanmail@gmail.com. So, how do you enter the giveaway? To enter the giveaway, you have to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment down below. And I'll make it fun. You also need to go to my recent video titled "Signed Coin Visually Melts Through the Cellophane, Then Box, Hardcore Magic Tutorial." What a title. And like that video and let me know what you think of it in the comments. It's an original magic trick. And yeah, I would like some feedback on it. And the giveaway prizes, by the way, we'll get to at the end of this video, so stick around. So, I know probably some of you are wondering, what is this effect? This is a book test. What the spectator does is they look through, they make sure the book is normal, and then they go to any page and they remember, let's say, a large word. So they remember a large word on that page, and there's a bunch of large words on each page. In fact, there's thousands of words in this book because it's 325 pages. So they memorize a word, and slowly the magician reveals each of the letters of the word. So for example, let's say the spectator goes to a random page and thinks of, let's say, troublemaker. The magician says, the last letter of that word, it's an R. Go back to the front of the word and try to send it to me through your mind. The first letter, it's a T, isn't it? It's a T. Are you thinking of the word troublemaker? And then they freak out because there's so many words in the book and they could have thought of any one. And yeah, that's the end book test. Well, first off, let's talk about what you get. You get this book inside of this marvelous packaging. The packaging is so nice. It's like I'd say it's like it's like how do I describe it? A book safe almost. Here's what you get, and yeah, it opens up like this, and it's magnetic enclosed, and the packaging's really, really good. Inside, what do you get? You get this. It's a paper booklet with Angelo Carbone's specific routine, pattern, and instructions. And this is really good. This is a bunch of pages, and this is actually what Angelo states. This is his exact presentation. In addition, you'll also get 4 stickers, which are crib sheets, and 2 are for right-handed magicians and 2 are for left-handed magicians, and they're super easy. You just put it on a Sharpie, and then you should be able to perform this effect. However, you don't have to use the crib. You can use just your memory, and the words are easy to remember. There's only 19 words to remember, and they rhyme. There's a phonetic memory system, which makes this very easy to remember. In addition to this passage and the crib, you also get a QR code, which you can scan with the phone, and that takes you to the downloadable tutorial video. You also get an instructional link, which you can type into your browser, and it allows you to stream the Murphy's Magic tutorial or download it. And yeah, you also get a specially designed gimmick book designed specifically by Angelo Carbone. And the the quality is incredible. It looks like a normal book, and it has so many features that make this similar to a normal book. It has all the features of a normal book, and it's supposedly written by Tom Pearson, but Angelo really took all the details from other books in this similar genre, and he made this book have all the characteristics. He even took the type of paper, the stock, the color, he made it slightly yellow so it looks like a little bit of an older book. And even the font, the font size he took into consideration. It's 14-point Garamond font. And for all you bookworms like me, yes, there is a barcode on the back of the book. And that is and the book, the cover is glossy, and inside, I know probably some of you are wondering, it actually says the copyright information, even though this isn't actually correct. It has the date this was published and everything else. It says it was printed by Penguin Books, which is an actual legitimate book printing company. Yeah, and they even have the Penguin logo here, Penguin Books. There are so many details that make this book look normal. And there's even a story in it. Like, if the spectator wants to flip through, and if they read through the book, they'd see a legitimate story. That said, it isn't just the same pages over and over again. However, it is 325 pages. The book is durable, and I think this should last you a long time. However, I wouldn't let the spectator look at this book and read the whole thing, or look at it for an extended amount of time. Like, at most, I'd let them examine it for about a minute. Now, how is the tutorial? The tutorial's absolutely great. It's about an hour and 13 minutes, and it starts out with Javier Fuenmer teaching in the Murphy's Magic Studios. For those who don't know him, he's the face of Murphy's Magic. He does a ton of the trailers for Murphy's Magic, and he does a lot of the teaching, and he's such a hardworking magician. He does a great job with the tutorial. He first explains the credits and where Angelo found inspiration to come up with this effect. And he also explains the memory system. If you want to use memory, you can also use the crib sheet. Both are very good options. He also explains how to use the crib sheet in performances, and how to play a mistake. Well, it's not even really a mistake. It happens 18 out of 19 times. 18 out of 19 performances you guess wrong, but that guess is easily corrected because you say, "Oh wait, no, the letter I guessed wrong, it's one letter back from the end of the word." And then that gets reaction. So even though you're messing up, you still get reactions because you still get a hit, as Javier calls it. And yeah, this works 100% of the time as long as the audience follows your instructions and you have good audience management. You do have to be able to control, the word can't be any word, I will say that. It has to be, and for a good reason, you have good reason to say this. You could say, pick a longer word, like more than 9 letters or so. And it needs to be that length of a word in order for this to work, because there is a bank of words that the spectator can choose from. It's 19 words. And they're easy to remember words because, as Javier Fuenmer explains later on in the tutorial, he explains the phonetic memory system to memorizing each and every one of these words. You also get a routine from Titanus, and it's also taught by Javier Fuenmer. And then finally, there's an in-studio live performance on George the cameraman, I believe. And finally, there's a part 2 of the explanation in which there are some additional ideas, and Lloyd Barnes pops in for a short time, giving some of his ideas. Now that we're done with how the tutorial is, what are the angles like? The angles are absolutely perfect. This can be viewed from 360 degrees. The magician can even be in another room, a complete another room, and this effect will still work, as long as the audience follows your instructions. Are there live performances in the tutorial? Yes. You get, I believe, 2 or 3, I think 3 full live performances, as well as some other clips of partial performances. Is this examinable? Well, the book itself is gimmicked. Not in a sense that there are mechanical parts or it's a moving gimmick. This will not wear out due to wear and tear. It'll only wear out if there are folds. But as long as you're taking care of this properly, there shouldn't be any issue with that. And yeah, I guess you could say it's examinable. I've done this a few times, and I've handed my spectators this book, and they flipped through and they saw a story. There's an actual story here. However, if the spectators read a ton of pages, like 10 or 20, then they may start to catch on to the method, but it's still not 100% certain that they will know how the effect works, even if they read through a ton of pages. So they can read through a few, but I just wouldn't let them have the book while they're alone. I wouldn't let them take the book home with them. I don't think any magician would, but I wouldn't let them, if I was performing this in a casual situation, I wouldn't leave this on the table for them to read through and inspect. But I don't think there's a high probability of, if the spectator's examining it, of them finding out how the effect works. Now, let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of the effect. So, the crib makes this a beginner effect. However, I do suggest getting this in your memory, because once it enters, I don't think it's easy to forget about what many of the words are. And even if you do, you have the crib as a backup in case you forget the word. And I think this is a beginner effect, but in terms of audience management skills and performing skills, the presentation required makes this about an intermediate effect. You need good audience management and a good presentation, so it doesn't look like you're fishing for the word, which you're only fishing for one letter, and once you have that, you're good to go. You know the word instantly. And even though you will most of the time get the letter wrong, you can play that off as a hit. Is this practical? We'll talk about it in a minute, but I don't think this is a good everyday carry. I mean, if I could carry it every day, I would, but there's no space because this wouldn't fit in your pocket. In fact, this is the size of the book compared to a deck of cards. It's quite big. So, I definitely wouldn't say this is an everyday carry, but it is a strong performing piece that I will use a lot. So I will say this is about an intermediate effect. Now, does this require memory work? I touched on this a little earlier in the review. And as I said, there is an option that doesn't require memory, which is the crib. But I find I've already memorized all of the words, and I find there's no issues with having a crib as a backup, but memorizing it is good, and there is some memory, but the memory is super easy. As I said, there's only 19 words, and 19 words seems daunting, but in reality, once you start memorizing it, you should be able to get it down. I've gotten this, I spent about 3 hours practicing, but I don't even think it should take that long for most people to memorize all of the words. That was just me, because I wanted them to be really ingrained in my brain. Now, is there any DIY? There's not any DIY. However, if you do want to use the crib, you have to peel off the crib and stick it onto something. Javier says to stick it onto a Sharpie, because then you can look at the crib while writing down the prediction for the word they thought of, and it blends into the Sharpie really nicely. The colors pretty much match. Now, let's talk about the pocket space. This is one issue that I've heard from others that some people don't like. This won't fit into your pocket. Definitely not. It absolutely will not fit into your pocket. I think this effect is better for stage shows, parlor, walk around, and overall, when you have a bag, a close-up bag. I carry around a lot the TCC close-up bag, and I have a feeling it's kind of, you'd have to take the dividers out probably, but if you did that, this would fit right into the close-up bag. And yeah, I think it is a good carrying piece if you plan to do magic or if you're hired for an event. But as for doing this at a moment's notice, I don't think this is something you can pull out of your back pocket and say, here, can I show you this? However, one thing I do think is, if you're in an environment where there's a bookshelf, like a library, a school, a university, or just anywhere that has a bookshelf, you could plant this book in the library before the show, in a spot where it won't get stolen or tried to be checked out. But you can put this on the shelf, preferably at a high up spot, so no one tries to check out the book and bring it to the scanner to take it out. And this would be very organic, and it's a great piece of mentalism. Now, who do I think would like this? As I said, this is a more intermediate effect, but I do think even card guys, even card magicians who aren't necessarily into mentalism should do this effect, because it's so powerful and it's so cool. And the Titanus routine uses a blank deck of cards, so I guess it could be used in conjunction with the card routine, and therefore, even if you're a card magician, you get the best of both worlds, and that's my opinion. But now, what is the reset like? There's absolutely no reset. You just put the book back where it came from. There's no moving parts, as I said. You literally have them go through the book, memorize any large word, and you're done. And let's now see if the trailer and ad copy are honest. The trailer's honest. Now I'll read the ad copy for you all. The ad copy. Experience the revolution in mind reading with the end book test. Prepare to elevate your performances to new heights with the end. A remarkable book test that simplifies the art of mind reading, allowing you to effortlessly reveal your spectators' innermost thoughts. Angelo has ingeniously transformed a well-known principle to create the most fooling and astonishing experience. Embrace the ease and elegance of the end as you leave behind confusing techniques and dubious moves. The book test is straightforward, direct, and pristine, giving you the power to captivate your audience without any gimmicks or complications. Here's why the end is different from the other book tests out there. Number 1, failure-free performance. Many book tests have a weak point where you guess the wrong letter, but that mistake could never be seen as a hit. The end fixes this, and now if your guess is wrong, it's seen as a hit to the spectator. This is big. Number 2, phonetic memory, the end. Employs a novel phonetic memory system to help you remember words by sound, not by letters. Not convinced? Jack and Jill went up the blank. Even if you haven't heard that rhyme for years, you still know what the missing word is. It's hill. Number 3, streamlined performance, the end. The end is straightforward and direct. No unnecessary prompts, no warm-up rounds, no extra procedures or spectators needed to muddy up the impact of the revelation. Number 4, contrasting approach. Traditional book tests often fish for the first letter. Because people instinctively think of words from the beginning to the end, this method of thinking can feel very suspect, as a huge clue is given to the magician. Angelo Carbone flips the script on this completely, which relates to the name, the end. Mix these ingredients together, and now you have a recipe for an ultra clean, super direct, and easy to perform book test that is pure poetry. The end itself presents itself as an unassuming paperback book published by Penguin Books. With 326 cream-colored pages, the 5.5-inch by 8.5-inch digest system format is designed to appear as realistic as possible, being the most popular size for fiction titles. Angelo himself penned the intriguing and enjoyable story, ensuring the book looks and feels like an ordinary everyday read. Completely hands-off, no peeking, no memorization option included, looks and reads like an ordinary book. There's a large bank of easy-to-remember words. This is very easy to perform. The spectator never feels like you miss. Includes written instructions for you word nerds and logophiles. One book, one spectator, one word, unparalleled moment, unparalleled amazement. For hard-hitting, ultra-clean mentalism, don't start at the beginning, start at the end. The end has garnered glowing endorsements from renowned magicians and mentalists, all commending it as a top-tier, ultra-clean book test. Yeah, that's the ad copy. I think that's honest. The only thing I kind of disagree with is that it says there's no gimmicks. This book, arguably to some, can be seen as a gimmick. There's no moving parts, but it's misprinted, or it's specially printed to have a certain property that allows this effect to work. And this won't work with every book, which is why I think this is a gimmick. But enough of that. Let's talk about the price. So this isn't cheap. It's quite an investment, actually. It costs $100. That's a lot of money. I do think it is slightly overpriced. I think this should be more like $90, $80. However, as I plan on actually utilizing this in the real world, I think you should get it anyways, even though it's a little bit expensive for what you get. Pros and cons. The pros. The price is a pro in one aspect, because it means that only a select amount of people will be performing this, and it won't be something that all magicians will be using. It'll be something that only a select few will be using. This is because I think the price is a barrier to entry to this amazing effect. And think about this effect. The spectator only thinks of a word from a 325-page book, and you guess the word. That's insane. You not only also get video instructions, but you get the paper booklet with Angelo Carbone's exact pattern handling. You also get 4 crib stickers. There's a lot of subtleties with the book that match with a regular book of this kind, and also there's so many subtleties that make this look so real. And there's actually a story in this book. The pages are all completely different, and the packaging, it's brilliant. It's a book safe style packaging, and it's magnetic, and the instructions are great. The words, the 19 words, are super easy to remember, and even if you can't remember it, just resort to the crib. The crib is always your fallback. This gets insane reactions, and that's it for the pros. Now the cons. I guess the price, and I guess you can't carry this in your pocket. And that's a shame, because I wanted to carry this in my pocket because it's one of the strongest book tests ever, if not the strongest. And that's all. In a moment, we'll talk about the prizes for this giveaway. But first, what percent do I give this? I give this a 99%. The price is the only thing that knocks off that 1%. But that's all for the review aspect. I really hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you learned something about the End Book Test by Angelo Carbone, and please subscribe if you did. Now, for the giveaway. As I said, to enter, you have to subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment on this video, go to the Coin Through Cellophane Then Box video, like that, comment on that what you think, because I need some feedback on that. And the prizes for the winner will be announced in 2 to 3 weeks. The prizes are, drumroll please, 3 items. Item number 1, a 10-pack of ties from Penguin Magic. These are super, super cool. It allows you to levitate objects. It lets you do the haunted deck. It's so good. The winner will also receive a Penguin Magic Maiden Back deck of cards, which is marked. And the marking system is really, really smart. And the winner will win those 2, and they will also win Heartbeat by Juan Colas. I'm covering the instructional link because I don't want to show that, but it's fully sealed. I promise the winner will get this fully sealed. And yeah, they're gonna get Heartbeat by Juan Colas, and I'll even throw in an extra pencil that allows you to do this effect. But yeah, that's it for this video. Good luck to anyone joining the competition. I highly encourage you to join the competition because there's a high likelihood you'll win. And yeah, everyone has the same chance. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this review. See you next time, and I hope good luck to anyone trying to win these 3 items. See you in the next video. Goodbye.